What's going on, guys? It's PokePond back with another video for you. Lots to talk about today. It seems like the market is going crazy at the moment. Things are changing week on week. I can't keep up with it. Good job we've got this channel here. Make sure you subscribe down below to never miss an opportunity. Let's get into it. Okay, we're going to jump into this episode today. It's going to be quite an interesting episode because I've made some pretty bold claims over the last couple of weeks about what products are going to be shooting up in value, and even I'm surprised looking at some of the data and looking at some of the products just how quickly some of these claims that I've made have come true. We're going to have a look at all the big boy sets in Sword and Shield because the market's really starting to spice up. As always, we're going to start off by having a look at what's in stock on the Pokemon Center. I'm going to be looking at both markets today, both the US market and the UK market. So if I'm going into the detail with the UK, just hold fire. I'm going to do a full analysis of the US as well, sort of at the same time. Right, let's jump into Pokemon Center UK. This is where I'm based, so this is where I always start off. Okay, so Fusion Strike still in stock for 143. Absolutely crazy. Like, the Americans every single week are like asking me in the comments, can I buy from Pokemon Center UK and ship it to the US? This is how much of a crazy deal it is. If this was on sale in the US for 143 or their equivalent, 160 odd dollars, it would sell out almost instantly. The fact that these are still available in the UK for this price, sealed, brand new, is insane. Fusion Strike is one of the best sets in Sword and Shield. It's a no-brainer. Like, you want to make money with Pokemon and sealed collecting, it's really not difficult. This is how you do it. You get Fusion Strike for retail, you sit on it for a couple of years, you sell it. Simple as that. Easy gains. Almost guaranteed. It's never guaranteed. That's the disclaimer. We are just collecting shiny cardboard at the end of the day. But I've been doing this a long time. This is one of the most surefire things that I've seen in a long time. So I'm letting you guys know. This is why you subscribe down below to never miss an opportunity. If I ever see a play, I'm not hoarding it all to myself. I'm, sharing it out with you guys so that you guys can benefit from it as well. I want to make us all rich together. Okay, so yeah, Fusion Strike, easily the best deal there. Brilliant Stars. Don't sleep on Brilliant Stars. Brilliant Stars has never really seen that increase in price in the UK because it's never really not been available. There's always sort of been stock of it. Even when it's gone out of stock, the secondary market and eBay still had some available, so it never really went much above retail. I'm telling you though, when Brilliant Stars starts to go out of stock, it's going to start pumping. It's a really undervalued set in my opinion. You've got the Big Chase Charizard card. I know it's not holding a lot of value at the moment, but I think it will long term. When you start looking back at like Alt Art era, once it all ends and Alt Art era is done and you can't get these boxes anymore, that Charizard is going to be maybe top 5 cards out of Sword and Shield. It's definitely up there. Even if it's not top 5, it's definitely top 10. Battle Styles wouldn't even touch. The rest is all ultra modern apart from Astral Radiance. Astral Radiance as well. I'm going to do a bit of analysis in a minute. Astral Radiance, people sleep on Astral Radiance. I really do think it will do well long term. But yeah, those are your options for Sword and Shield retail from the official source, from the Pokemon Center in the UK. Let's have a look at the US market now then. US market. Don't be upset. Don't be like, oh my gosh, we want Fusion Strike. It's not fair. I'm going to point out the deals that you guys have available as well, because you guys have crazy deals as well. Okay, it's just not as obvious. You just got to make smarter plays because you've got a bigger market and you've got more people that are trying to do this. So the obvious plays are taken up quicker, but that doesn't mean you can't use your brain or just subscribe to my channel and I'll tell you what the good plays are. And it really is as simple as that. Okay, older sets, Sword and Shield, you've got Vivid Voltage. Wouldn't touch it personally. One of those sets that never really went above retail. It was printed at a weird time in like the hype of the pandemic, and it was kind of like hyped at the time because everyone was at home and the US had stimulus checks, and that sort of gave it a bit of artificial growth at the time, and it's never recovered since then. It's never ever really appreciated above the peaks that it had on release, basically. Do I think it'll do well over time and slowly creep up? Yes. but it's going to take years. I'm talking 3-4 years until you see a decent sort of 80-90% return on Vivid Voltage. It just doesn't have the demand there at the moment. Over time, everything does do well, but sometimes it takes like 4 or 5 years, and then it really starts ramping up. Like, it might take us, you know, getting to the end of the next era. I'm not talking to the end of Scarlet and Violet. I'm talking about the end of whatever that era is, for some of these less desirable Sword and Shield sets to really go up in price, like Vivid Voltage, like Battle Styles. Can you invest in them, and will they do well long term? Probably, but there's much better plays. Look, you've got Silver Tempest right here. Silver Tempest is a much better play than Vivid Voltage. The fact you can still buy Silver Tempest for retail in the US is crazy. It's a really good deal. Again, got one of the top alt art card chasers in it. It's got the Lugia V, incredible looking card, and although it holds a bit of value, that Lugia V, I still think it's really undervalued. I think that when we look back in like 5 years time, that Lugia V, I'd be really surprised if that's under $1,000 card in a PSA 10. Probably much more than that, but we'll just have to wait and see. Might sound like a bold claim now, but 5 years is a lot of time to pass, and I really do think that like alt arts are a bit of a golden era of Pokemon, and we'll really look back on it fondly and collect them. Okay, so those are your options with Sword and Shield. You've got Battle Styles, Vivid Voltage, Silver Tempest. I would say Silver Tempest is the best deal out of those, out of what I think is going to do better. But if you're not a big fan of Silver Tempest and you're really upset about Fusion Strike is available in the UK, have a look at this. Pokemon Center US, back in stock. I'm telling you, I point out the deals to you guys. You're going to have to act quick though, because as soon as this video goes up and I start broadcasting again that these are back in stock, they will sell out quickly. $4 a pack, Fusion Strike sleeved booster packs. Sleeve booster packs are brilliant. They're much easier to sell on the back end on the secondary market than loose booster packs. They're much less likely to be tampered with. They're easier to keep as well. You can literally just stack them all up in a box and they don't really get damaged. So as long as they're like wedged in nicely and they don't like fold or anything. Really good product. Love sleeve boosters. $4 each is insane for Fusion Strike. Okay, absolutely insane, and I'll show you why. Fusion Strike booster boxes, although it's had a little bit of a lull recently, they're still at $211 average price. Let's look at last sales on TCG Player. Look, 206, 206, 208. Okay, let's take 206 then, because it's the last two sales. 206 divided by 36 packs, $5.72 a pack when you're buying a whole booster box worth. Okay, $5.72. Just remember that. You can buy them for $4 loose. You don't even have to invest all the money of a booster box. I know booster boxes carry a little bit of a premium because they're a little bit of a premium product and people like having them. That gives, for some reason, a little bit of increased value and they're easier to sell. But I'm telling you, these are easy to sell. Sleeve booster packs are easy to sell. It's a low cost of entry to get into it. You could chuck $40 down and get 10 of them. You don't have to put a whole $210 to get a booster box. And I tell you what, the chances of something going wrong with a sale trying to buy a $210 booster box either from TCG Player or eBay or something, like, I'd personally be a bit worried about that. If that gets left on your doorstep when you're not home and someone takes that, that's bad times. Whereas if you're only putting $40 into a couple of sleeve booster packs, you know, it's just much less risk. And also when you're selling it on the back end as well, if you're selling them loose, if you're selling, well, you probably wouldn't sell them loose. You would probably sell them as either like try and put together art sets, like one of each four, because then you'll get a bit more of a premium back. Or even you might just sell it in like 5s or 10s or something like that. But I think, to be honest, you wouldn't even need to sit on them for that long. Like, you could sit on that for 6 months, 10 months. As soon as those are out of stock, you could probably bundle them together and sell them for like $5 each. The fact that the booster box price at the moment is $5.72 each for a pack is pretty crazy to me. This is a mad deal. If you're in the US, you really want to get some Fusion Strike for retail, this is how you do it. Okay? Let's have a look at the UK then. Cheapest you can buy it at the moment in the UK. Obviously, we can buy it for retail from the Pokemon Center. That's £143. But the cheapest on eBay, look, one without a photo, 170. 170 with a weird photo, but a photo nonetheless. So 170, £143. So you may as well just buy from the Pokemon Center for retail. But the point I wanted to make is as soon as that goes out of stock on the Pokemon Center, the price just becomes 170 because you can't get it anywhere else for any cheaper. So it just instantly jumps up in price. Like, I'm talking about putting away Fusion Strike for multiple years, but literally as soon as it goes out of stock, it's just going to jump up like 30, 40 pounds straight away. And I'm telling you, the price, when that happens, the price isn't going to stay at 170 because look at how many are available for 170. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 for 170. Then we're at 175, then we're at 180. So in less than 10 sales, look, in less than 10 sales, we're at 180 already, almost £40 more. So if they're retailing right now for 143, so 40 divided by 143 times 100, that's almost like a 30% profit straight away as soon as it goes out of stock on the Pokemon Center. And I'm telling you, the price ain't going to stay at 180. Like, once the momentum starts going and people start FOMOing into it, it's well over 200 a box. I think it'll go within 200 a box within a month of it going out of stock on Pokemon Center. I'm quite confident in saying that. Alright, let's have a look at Evolving Skies then. Evolving Skies is going to be sort of the main topic for the video. I made a video 2 videos ago, I believe. 2 or 3, I think 2 videos ago, I did a full up-to-date analysis of Evolving Skies as a sealed collection, what products you can buy into. If you're interested in buying into Evolving Skies, I would highly recommend you watch that video first. As I said, it's really up-to-date. I did it just a couple of weeks ago, and I made some pretty bold claims on Evolving Skies. I said that Evolving Skies, even though it's at this crazy price at the moment, look, last sales, $692, basically $700 a box. I said that, and I was specifically talking to the UK audience. I think the US market will do the same as well, but I was specifically talking to the UK market. Have a look back 2 videos ago. There's no hiding, it's all there recorded. I said that Evolving Skies is about to jump up in price, and it has. The US market hasn't seen it yet. It's a little bit slower to react, but the UK market has gone mad over the last week. Okay, let's have a look at the cheapest in the UK right now. We're at 800 a box. Okay, last 2 weeks ago when I did the analysis, in fact I think even last week as well, we looked at Evolving Skies and you could pick it up for 680. Okay, under 700 a box. Now it's at 800. In what, a week, 2 weeks time, 14 days? I told you Evolving Skies has got more room to grow, and you guys listened. Like, it really is pumping. And I want to show you just how many are for sale here in the UK right now. And you might be looking as a US viewer and be like, oh yeah, but the UK market is tiny. It's really not that small. Like, it's much smaller compared to the US, but it is actually quite a big market. But what I highlighted in the video a couple of weeks ago is people are getting priced out of these booster boxes. So A, some people can't afford to buy it, so there's not that much demand for them, so the price can just be more, what they say in economics, more inelastic. That means it doesn't really matter what the price is, people still buy them because there's not that many available. And also, there's just not that many available. Look, so people who have them now and bought into them for a decent price aren't selling them. All the people who bought into these for retail on release at 140, 200, even 300, a lot of those people have sold now, and now people are just holding on to them because they're holding on to them for the long haul. They're waiting for it to hit 1k a box, 2k a box, 3k a box. So really not many of them are being sold, and that just means that the price can jump up much quicker. Look, so 800 a box, 800 a box, 2 at 800, then it jumps to 900 a box, then we're at 950. Guys, in 4 sales, we're pretty much at 1,000 a box. And look, there's no more for sale here in the UK. That's literally it. absolutely crazy. And look, they're selling for that as well. Look, last sales. This is the last sale, 28th of September. So today, 750 and some change. So that's 50 over, no, 70 over what it was 2 weeks ago, which is basically like a 10% jump. Look, another one here sold for 700 today. Okay, so 700 is like pretty crazy, because 700 is kind of what it has been like recently in the last couple of weeks. But then look, 2 days beforehand, 780 and change. So the fact that someone picked one up today for 700 is mad, because a couple of days beforehand it's 780. Like, the price is all over the place. And then look, the cheapest now is 800 or 895 with £4 postage, so 799. It's absolutely nuts. Evolving Skies has jumped. When I made the video 2 weeks ago, I knew that this was going to happen. I just didn't know that it was going to happen this quickly. But look, there's still bargains, because the market hasn't caught up yet. Like, not everyone knows that this is the new price, because things are moving so quickly. Look, someone got one today for 700, but literally a few days before it's 780. Like, if you're going to move in on Evolving Skies, I would say do it now. I would say that if you're new to investing in sealed product and you have limited resources or limited funds, go for something like Fusion Strike, go for something like Silver Tempest or Brilliant Stars or something like that. I do videos every week recommended how to invest in these lower down sets. Use that to build your capital over a little bit of time. I would say only buy into Evolving Skies at this kind of inflated price if you either have a high amount of disposable income, so it doesn't matter to you if you lose out on it, or if you have been doing it for a long time and you just know how much of a goat set Evolving Skies is. Don't take my word for everything. Do your own research is what I'm trying to tell you. But for people that have been in the hobby for a long time, you'll know that Evolving Skies is just in a class of its own. And that's why I made this video 2 weeks ago. Go check it out before you buy into Evolving Skies. It won't take you that long to watch it. Before you pull the trigger, go and watch that video. It will give you all the information you need to know, and it might make you consider not actually buying a booster box, because I don't think that always buying a booster box of Evolving Skies is the best way to buy into that. But that's all detailed in the video. Go on my channel a couple of weeks ago, full rundown of Evolving Skies. Okay. One of the things that I mentioned in the video is some of the other Evolving Skies products are really going to start taking off. Over the last few weeks, I've been talking about these Elite Trainer boxes because people are getting priced out of the booster boxes. A couple of weeks ago, these were going for like 110, 120, and there were quite a few on there. Cheapest now is 170. So again, I'm not trying to inflate my own ego to say, look, I called it, here it is, here's the evidence, but I'm just trying to keep you guys updated with what's going on. Okay, Evolving Skies is pumping, and I don't think it's long until the American markets start doing the same. Okay, we all know that Evolving Skies is just the most ridiculous set. It's so undervalued for what it is at the moment, even though it's easily the most expensive set by a long way in Sword and Shield. If you're asking me, it's a 2k set all day long. How long is it going to take to get there? I don't know. Evolving Skies constantly breaks all the rules. If you'd asked me, I don't know, 6 months ago, I would have said it would take 3 years for Evolving Skies to hit 2k. If you're going to ask me now, it could do it in the next 12 months, I think. It could even be less. This is what I'm saying. Evolving Skies is just in a world of its own. So 170 is the cheapest in the UK right now for the colour variant that I don't really care for the most. I think the other one looks much nicer. And then the much nicer coloured one, cheapest is 190 now. Let's have a look at last sales as well. Last sales. Someone bought one for 200 a box here. This is what I'm saying. This is going mad, guys. Like, it's frustrating me because I don't understand why I sort of say this week in, week out. I let people know about the plays, and I still get so much hate in the comments that I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, the proof is here. Like, go back to the previous videos. I'm trying to provide a free service for you guys. It doesn't cost you anything. If you want to support me, just subscribe down below, put a thumbs up, put a comment. That really helps me with the algorithm. That helps me out. That doesn't cost you anything, and all I'm trying to do is to make sure that people don't make bad plays. I've been investing in sealed Pokemon product for close to 7 years now, I think. We might even be getting up to 8 years now. And I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. This is one of the main reasons why I made this channel, because I see the same patterns in the market happen again and again. And Evolving Skies is just one of those crazy hot sets. It's going to hit 2k a box. I'm so certain of it. How long is it going to take? I don't know. But yeah, like I said, Evolving Skies video, a couple back if you want a more detailed view of what's going on. But we do track it every week just because it's a crazy set. Lost Origin. Now, Lost Origin, I've had mixed opinions on for a long time. I'm more of an old school sort of Gen 1, Gen 2 kind of guy. I understand that some of the younger viewers, I'm getting quite old now, but some of the younger viewers are more attached to the later generations, and I think that's why the Alt Art Chase card Giratina in this set is doing so well, because a lot of people have that emotional attachment to Giratina. I personally don't. It's a cool card, and when it came out, it did kind of, like it did with most people in the hobby, everyone sort of gave it a second take, like, whoa, that's an interesting looking card. And we saw that reflected with the huge run up in price on it. And then Lost Origin obviously went out of stock in the US and the UK. It saw that big increase in price here around April sort of time. Let me put my mouse here so you can see around about here. And you saw the big run up in price. So annoying that these pop-ups come up on the chart now. Around about this time, the start of May, we started to see peaks at around about 222 a box, but it's still kind of up there. It's 203 a box now, and at first I did used to think that that's a little bit overpriced for what it is, and it's a bit overhyped because it's got that Giratina card in that. But the more that time goes on and the more I'm seeing this price consolidation here of it basically just hovering and not really going much below $200 a box for any length of time, gives me faith that it is actually a strong set. There's a lot of demand for it, and I do think it's got a lot of room to grow. If you look at the sets sort of around it in Sword and Shield and you compare it to their hits compared to obviously the Chase Giratina card and how well known that Giratina card is, that is a bit of a poster boy for the set, for the era even. It's definitely up there with the Moonbryon, the Lugia, like I said, the Charizard alt art from Silver Tempest as well. From Brilliant Stars. I think there's room for Lost Origin to grow, so we're tracking it. Bit of a crazy deal here actually in the UK. You can pick one up for $190 a box sealed, which does seem a little bit cheaper than normal. You rarely see these now for below $200 a box, so I think that this is probably the cheapest you're ever going to get Lost Origin again. So shout outs to this person. If you want to pick one up for a little bit of a discount here in the UK, that is a pretty good deal. And you can see that they're regularly selling for $200, so you get £10 off if you buy it from that person. Pretty good deal, so I'll always point that out to you guys. I think people are really sleeping on Astral Radiance as well. People knock it as a set, but I really do think it's up there as one of the good sets in Sword and Shield. Sometimes investing in Pokemon products isn't about investing in the obvious plays. Because it's supply and demand based, it's sometimes better to go on your gut feeling on what you think is a good set rather than what everyone else thinks is a good set. I think Astral Radiance is a really above average set. It's not one of the best sets of Sword and Shield, but it's definitely above average, and you can pick it up pretty cheap now still, and I do think it will do really well long term. If you think it's personally a good set, then maybe, you know, like maybe it's the right set for you. You can see that it was around about $178 average here in July, and you're getting it for a big discount now. You're getting it for $163, which is I believe, retail in the US. So to pick up a Sword and Shield, an above average Sword and Shield set for retail in the US right now is pretty decent, and you can pick it up so cheap here in the UK right now. 137, that's below retail. Retail at the time was 143. I mean, you're basically at 143 once you put in postage. So Astral Radiance still available for retail on UK eBay right now. Goodbye. Brilliant stars, like I said in earlier in the video, I think that the Charizard alt art is one of the nicest cards in the whole era. I think it's incredibly undervalued for what it is right now, because Brilliant Stars for the most part has been kind of readily available in the US and the UK. I know that recently in the US it went out of stock, which is why you've seen this price increase over the last 3 months. It peaked around about the 180 mark at mid-September, and then we saw a big price reduction. Well, it really isn't that much of a price reduction. This is the problem with graphs. You really need to look at the sales data, because at the peak here it's 185 and at the bottom it's 180. So we're talking about a $5 swing, which in all fairness is about a 4% swing, but it's really nothing to write home about. As you can see in this chart, around about here, you can see as it started to plummet in price, the sales figures in the background really started to go up, and that's really healthy to see that the supply and demand is there, so that when it is available for cheaper, there are the people buying it, and that's something that you really should be looking for when you're investing into a set. Still holding pretty strong in price actually in the US. 180, 174, 185 is still over retail. I do think it's still undervalued though. In the UK right now, so you can pick it up for 143 from Pokemon Center, and yeah, there's quite a difference between Pokemon Center and eBay. We've talked about this with other sets, that as soon as it goes out of stock on Pokemon Center, then the next available price is 165. Literally one for 165, and then as soon as that's gone, we start jumping to around about 175 all in. And then look at the postage on this one, $12.75 postage. So then we're jumping to 182 a box. Like, this is what I'm saying. As soon as Pokemon Center starts running out of stock of all these Sword and Shield sets, I don't know how long it's going to take. But the price is really just going to jump up, because then the only other place you can get it is eBay, and the eBay price is much higher at the moment. We're almost bordering on the point actually where you can arbitrage, so you can buy it directly from the Pokemon Center, sell it on eBay, and then the fees, you can just eat them and still make profit. It's getting very close to that point with a few sets. I would never recommend doing that personally. It's a risky play. For me though, and then you don't really have to worry about when it goes out of stock on Pokemon Center. I just buy it, then buy any sealed product when I think it's a good price. Just buy it, put it away in storage for a couple of years, and then pull it out. And I've done very well out of that in the past. Silver Tempest is the last one that I wanted to talk about, because I do spend a lot of time on this channel pointing out deals for UK people, so I just wanted to point out a deal that applies for both markets basically. So Silver Tempest is still available in the US for retail. You can buy it from the Pokemon Center directly, or you can buy it on TCG Player or eBay. Look at these last sales, 165, 165, 2 for 162. Those are all from today on TCG Player. That is retail price. You might even be able to get it a little bit cheaper than retail. It is out of stock at the moment on Pokemon Center UK and has been for a couple of weeks, but you can still basically pick it up for retail. 150 for it here on eBay, and retail was like 143 or something. Brilliant set. Obviously you've got the Chase Lugia card. I think that is undervalued, or even though it's one of the more expensive PSA 10s in Sword and Shield right now, I still think it's got a lot of room to grow, especially when you start comparing it to its big brother, the Moonbryon from Evolving Skies. Anyway guys, I really just wanted to highlight the big price jump in the UK market on Evolving Skies. I also wanted to let the US people know that this Fusion Strike sleeve boosters are back in stock for a pretty insane retail price if you want to pick some up, because I know a lot of you have been a bit upset recently that the UK can just buy the booster box for retail and you guys can't. So this is your way to buy into Fusion Strike for retail. Hope you guys found that video helpful and informative. I'll always try and point out plays to you whenever I see them in both the UK and the US market. I'll always keep you up to date with new products that are coming out as well. Make sure you subscribe down below to never miss an opportunity. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and peace.